am bad at Overwatch. I've been stuck in metal ranks my whole life, but this season I will go from bronze to diamond and document that journey to prove that anyone can do it. The first step to actually getting good at a game like Overwatch is specialization. I am going to specialize in hitscan heroes because it seems the easiest for me to grasp, and I already have decent mechanics from when I first switched to PC gaming a few years ago. There are a lot of hitscan DPS in Overwatch, so I need to narrow that list down. Ideally, I'm looking to have a hero pool size of 3. How am I going to choose? Well, there are 3 main things to consider: team compositions, effective range, and aim style. First, we need to talk about the 3 main team compositions of Overwatch and how hitscan DPS fits into them: Brawl, Poke, and Dive. In a Brawl comp, the team sticks together and uses Lucio or Juno to speed the tank and the rest of the team towards the enemies to burst them down. I need a hero who is good at close quarters but has burst potential. They don't need to have a lot of mobility either, because my team will be in a compact death ball for most of the game. One hero stands out from the others: Cassidy. His primary fire is great at bursting down targets with a few headshots, and he has flashbang, which can hinder targets your team is focusing, basically guaranteeing a pick. Poke is the comp that I predict will be played the most in lower elo because it has the easiest idea. Use your resources to whittle down the enemies as they're pushing through choke and trying to close the distance for a fight. For a poke comp, the hit scan needs to be long range. Widowmaker. But Widowmaker is very map dependent, so I'll need someone else who has good damage on mid to long range maps with tighter chokes, and someone to swap to when my team starts crying for a Widow swap. Ashe is the perfect fit. She is good at mid to long range with her scope shot, she has verticality and self-peel with coach gun, and Dynamite can deal lots of damage while the other team is trying to close the gap, and it's also a helpful tool to duel flankers. Now for the most fun comp, in my opinion: Dive. In this comp, typically you'll have a flex DPS and a tank trying to dive one weak target in the backline at a time. There are 2 things a hitscan DPS looks to do in this comp: play with the core, if there is one. Say there's like an Ana and she's getting dove a lot by enemy flankers, I might want a hero like Cassidy that can have a better time dueling those flankers and keeping her alive. I can also assist in the dive from range by taking advantage of the space created. When a Winston and Tracer jump into the enemy's backline, they demand attention. I can play the other 2 heroes in my pool, Ashe and Widowmaker, to try and get some picks while the enemy is distracted. Now we need to talk about effective range. My hero pool is made up of the classic hitscan trio: Widowmaker, Ashe, and Cassidy. This works out perfectly. Widowmaker dominates long sight lines, Ashe serves a similar purpose for mid to long range, and Cassidy is a great pick for those close range maps. Something that is less important but still notable is aim style. My hero pool consists specifically of hitscan flick characters. This means when I'm clicking heads on Widowmaker, those skills can translate to every other hero in my pool. The most essential part to growing as a player is unchecked ego and blaming your teammates. Wait, no, that can't be right. Here we go. The most essential part to growing is reviewing your own gameplay. I will be playing a few games on stream and reviewing my VODs on losses to see what I can do better. There is a lot of overhead when playing a game as complex as Overwatch. You need to keep track of your team's position and their resources, keep track of the enemy team's position and their resources, process new information from your teammates' comms and pings, and then use all of that info to decide where you should position given the resources you have. This is a lot of information you need to process before you can even start to play the game. And that's just the macro. On the micro side, you have your aim, movement, abilities, and knowing all of your matchups. This sounds overwhelming, and that's because it is. To learn efficiently, I'm gonna pick one skill or idea to improve on each game. This brings up a new question: what do I need to learn? My strength is raw mechanics. Sure, there's still a lot to be desired there, but I doubt I need to improve my aim to climb to diamond. In general, the most important thing for me as a hitscan DPS is positioning and taking off angles. Right now, I chase and overextend a lot. I need to understand that getting a pick is not the end-all be-all. Pressuring someone out of an angle is just as important as finishing somebody off. I also need to pressure other DPS off of their angles to alleviate pressure on my team before I take my own. I also need to switch targets more often so I prevent tunnel visioning. It's easier to hit someone not focused on me because they'll be moving more predictably, so I can take advantage of that by switching targets. And I need to stop jumping without intent. Sure, this is just a little micro thing, but mindlessly jumping is just begging to be sent back to spawn. More specifically, on Widowmaker, I'll need to play like a shadow ninja. This is something that I heard a coach say a while back, and what he means is take 1 to 2 shots before the enemy team looks at you, and then change positions. On Ashe, I need to focus on Bob placement. A good Bob can stall out or just win a team fight. Ideally, you want Bob on an off angle behind the enemy so you can hit them from both ends.
What do you mean by that?
And for Cassidy, I need to focus on positioning near my team. Let me know what you think of my plan below. I appreciate any feedback or advice you have. You can watch me put this plan into action live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/voidz or here on YouTube.